The most dangerous person in the room is not the loudest one. It is the calm person who knows exactly what to say. Have you ever been disrespected, insulted, challenged, and later replayed the moment in your head wishing you had the perfect reply? Have you ever walked away thinking, I should have said something smarter? Today, that ends. Because in this video, I'll give you 5 smart phrases that make you sound wise, never angry. These are not ordinary words. These are replies that disarm anyone. Words that protect your dignity. Words that lower tension. Words that instantly change how people see you. And stay with me until the end, because phrase number 5 is so powerful, it can silence doubters without a single argument. Welcome to Unshaken Mind. If you respect strength, discipline, wisdom, and self-control, follow me now and subscribe to Unshaken Mind. We build minds that pressure cannot break. There was once a young man who believed strength meant winning every argument. If someone corrected him, he fought back. If someone insulted him, he attacked harder. If someone doubted him, he tried to prove himself immediately. At work, people avoided him. At home, peace disappeared. Inside, he was always tired. One day, after another useless argument, he sat in silence beside an older man known for his calm presence. This older man rarely raised his voice. Yet everyone respected him. The young man asked, "How do you always stay calm when people test you?" The old man smiled and said, "Because not every fire deserves my wood." The young man frowned. The old man continued, "If you feed every insult, every criticism, every foolish comment, your whole life becomes smoke." That day, the young man learned something powerful. Peace is not weakness. Calmness is not surrender. Silence is not defeat. Sometimes the strongest response is the smartest one. That lesson is what this video is about. Phrase number 1, you may be right. This phrase is simple, but incredibly powerful. Most people expect resistance. When they criticize you, they are ready for battle. They expect excuses. They expect anger. They expect you to defend your ego. But when you calmly say, "You may be right," everything changes. Their energy suddenly has nowhere to go. Imagine someone says, "You always think you know everything." Most people would respond, "No, I don't. You're the one who thinks that." Now the argument grows. But a wise person looks at them calmly and says, "You may be right." Now the tension drops. Why? Because humility confuses aggression. People know how to fight pride. They do not know how to fight calm honesty. Now listen carefully. This phrase does not mean you accept lies or disrespect. It means you are secure enough not to wrestle over every opinion. The Stoics believe that what others think belongs to them. Your peace belongs to you. Sometimes people attack you because they are frustrated with themselves. Sometimes they judge you through their own pain. Sometimes they simply want a reaction. You do not need to volunteer for every battle. A wise man once said, "When a dog barks at the moon does not bark back." Use this phrase when the issue is small, emotional, or pointless. Say it slowly. Say it without sarcasm. Say it like a man who has nothing to prove. Because the person who needs to win every argument usually loses the most. Think about how many hours people waste trying to be right. Friendships break. Families divide. Relationships become cold. All because two people would rather protect ego than protect peace. But when you say, "You may be right," you choose maturity over chaos. That is wisdom. That is control. That is power most people never develop. Phrase number 2, I understand your point. This phrase can calm storms. Many people do not truly want conflict. They want recognition. They want to feel heard. They want to know their feelings matter. When people feel ignored, they become louder. When people feel dismissed, they become harsher. But when you say, "I understand your point," you remove their need to shout. Now be clear, this does not mean agreement. It means emotional intelligence. It means you are strong enough to listen without becoming defensive. Imagine your partner says, "You never listen to me." Instead of replying, "That's not true," you pause and say, "I understand your point." Suddenly, the conversation changes. Their heart softens. Their anger lowers. Real communication begins. At work, a frustrated coworker says, "This whole project is a mess." Instead of attacking back, you say, "I understand your point. Let's fix it." Now you sound like a leader. Because wise people do not rush to defend themselves. They first seek understanding. Let me tell you a short story. A merchant once had two employees who argued every week. One day he called them both in. The first man shouted for 10 minutes. The second man waited. Then he simply said, "I understand your point." The room became silent. The merchant smiled and said, "The second man will lead one day." Why? Because anyone can react. Few people can remain composed. Deeper meaning. Listening is a rare skill now. Everyone wants to speak. Few want to understand. When you use this phrase, you separate yourself from the crowd. You show patience. You show maturity. You show command over emotion. And that makes people trust you more. Remember. A person who feels heard becomes calmer. A person who feels attacked becomes louder. Choose wisely. Part 1 Closing Transition. So far, you've learned two powerful phrases. 1. You may be right. 2. I understand your point. Already, you can avoid arguments that trap most people. But the next phrase is where true strength begins. Because it instantly shifts any conversation from blame to power. And once you master it, people will see you differently. If this is helping you grow stronger, subscribe now to Unshaken Mind, follow this channel, and join a community that chooses wisdom over chaos. Let's continue. So far, you've learned how wise people calm conflict without lowering themselves. You've learned that strength is not always loud. Sometimes it speaks softly and changes the whole room. But now we move deeper. Because the next two phrases do more than calm arguments. They reveal leadership. They reveal self-respect. They reveal emotional mastery. Most people remain trapped in blame, drama, and endless reactions. But after today, you won't be one of them. Welcome back to Unshaken Mind. If you value discipline, wisdom, and mental strength, subscribe now and follow this journey. Phrase number 3, let's focus on the solution. This phrase is where leaders separate themselves from complainers. Anyone can point at a problem. Anyone can criticize. Anyone can complain. Anyone can replay mistakes again and again. But very few people can rise above emotion and ask, "What now?" That is why this phrase is so powerful. When tension rises, say calmly, "Let's focus on the solution." Immediately, the energy changes. Because arguments often survive on one thing: attention to the problem. The more people repeat blame, the bigger the fire grows. But when someone redirects the room towards solutions, the fire begins to die. Example 1. Imagine a workplace mistake happens. Someone says, "This is all your fault. You ruined everything." Most people would defend themselves. "No, it was your mistake too." Now the room becomes war. But a wise person says, "Maybe mistakes were made. Let's focus on the solution." Now everyone sees maturity. Now everyone sees control. Now everyone sees who the real leader is. Example 2. In relationships, this phrase is priceless. A partner says, "You always do this." Instead of attacking back, say, "I hear you. Let's focus on the solution." Now the conversation has a chance to heal. Because some people don't need perfection. They need progress. There was once a captain whose ship was caught in a violent storm. The crew screamed. Some blamed the weather. Some blamed the route. Some blamed each other. But the captain shouted only one sentence. "Grab the ropes." He did not waste breath discussing the storm. He focused on survival. That is wisdom. In your life, many people will panic in storms. Be the captain. The Stoics believe that what has happened is already outside your control. But what you do next, belongs to you. Many people live in the past. They replay insults. They replay mistakes. They replay failures. Wise people ask, "What action moves me forward now?" That is why this phrase sounds powerful. Because it tells the world, you are not stuck. You are moving. Use this phrase in business. Use it in family conflict. Use it in stressful moments. You will instantly appear calmer, wiser, and stronger than everyone reacting emotionally. Phrase number 4, that doesn't deserve my anger. This phrase is dangerous in the best way. Because many people spend their lives trying to steal your peace. They provoke you. They insult you. They disrespect you. They test your patience. Why? Because emotional people need emotional reactions. They feel powerful when they control your mood. Never hand them that power. Instead, say quietly, "That doesn't deserve my anger." This sentence carries immense self-respect. It tells people, my emotions are valuable. I do not spend them cheaply. Example 1. Someone online insults you. Most people reply instantly. Hours wasted. Energy drained. Peace destroyed. But imagine saying, "That doesn't deserve my anger." Then closing the app. That is freedom. Example 2. Someone at work throws a petty comment at you. They expect irritation. They expect your face to change. Instead, you remain calm and say, "That doesn't deserve my anger." Now they feel small. Because calmness exposes immaturity. A philosopher was once publicly mocked by a man seeking attention. The crowd waited for an angry reaction. Instead, the philosopher smiled and said, "If I pick up every stone thrown at me, I will never reach home." Then he walked away. The crowd stopped watching the mocker, and started admiring the philosopher. Remember that. When you refuse foolish battles, observers notice. Even if no one says it aloud. Deeper meaning. Many people think anger is strength. But uncontrolled anger is weakness in motion. Anyone can explode. Anyone can shout. Anyone can lose control. But remaining steady when provoked? That requires discipline. That requires mastery. That requires strength. Your anger should be rare and purposeful, not easily purchased. Do not let strangers buy your emotions for free. Stoic perspective. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that people act badly because they are confused, ignorant, or wounded. When you understand this, some insults become easier to ignore. Not because they are acceptable, but because they reveal the speaker more than they reveal you. Sometimes a rude person is simply showing their inner chaos. Do not adopt it. Practical use. Use this phrase internally or aloud depending on the moment. Sometimes you say it to them. Sometimes you say it only in your own mind. Both are powerful. Because the real battle is not always with them. It is with your impulse to react. Win that battle, and life becomes calmer. So far, you've learned 4 phrases. 1. You may be right. 2. I understand your point. 3. Let's focus on the solution. 4. That doesn't deserve my anger. Already, you're becoming someone harder to provoke, harder to manipulate, harder to shake. That is rare. That is valuable. That is the path of strength. But the final phrase may be the most powerful of them all. Because it silences doubters without arguments. It defeats mockery without explanation. It turns patience into power. If this video is helping you grow, subscribe now to Unshaken Mind, follow this channel, and join those building a calm, disciplined mind. Let's enter the final part. You've come this far, which already sets you apart. Most people search for quick reactions. Few people search for lasting strength. By now, you've learned phrases that calm conflict, reveal maturity, and protect your peace. But the final phrase is different. It is quiet, yet powerful. Simple, yet unforgettable. It does not need long explanations. It does not need raised voices. It does not need approval. It works because truth needs time. And those who understand time, rarely panic. Welcome back to Unshaken Mind. If you value discipline, wisdom, and emotional power, subscribe now and follow this journey. Phrase number 5, we'll see. This may be the strongest phrase in the entire video. Because when people doubt you, insult you, laugh at your goals, or predict your failure, most people react in one of 2 ways. They become angry. Or they begin explaining themselves. Both responses give away power. But when you calmly say, we'll see, everything changes. Now you are no longer arguing. You are letting time speak for you. And time is a witness no one can silence. Why this phrase is powerful. Many people talk with certainty about things they do not know. They say, you'll never make it. You can't do that. You're wasting your time. You're not good enough. You'll fail like before. These statements are often projections. They speak from their fear, not your future. When you reply, we'll see, you refuse to carry their fear. You trust action more than opinions. That is strength. Example 1. Someone says, you'll never build a successful business. Instead of debating business plans, proving your intelligence, or defending yourself, you smile and say, we'll see. Then you go to work. Months later, your progress becomes the reply. Example 2. Someone mocks your discipline. You wake up early for nothing. You answer, we'll see. Later, your results explain what your words never needed to. Example 3. Someone says, you'll never change. You reply, we'll see. Then you become someone they no longer recognize. There was once a young athlete laughed at by nearly everyone in his town. They said he was too small. Too weak. Too ordinary. Whenever they mocked him, he gave only one answer. We'll see. He trained in silence. No arguments. No speeches. No revenge. Years later, when he stood on the winner's stage, people said he was lucky. But they did not see the mornings he rose before sunrise. They did not see the nights he kept going while others slept. His success looked sudden to those who ignored the process. Remember this. Results are often called luck by those who never worked. The Stoics respected patience. They knew that life does not reward noise first. It rewards consistency. Many people want instant recognition. They want applause before discipline. Respect before effort. Victory before struggle. Wise people understand something different. The seed grows underground before anyone sees it. Your growth may be invisible right now. Keep working. When doubted, say, "We'll see." Then continue. The hidden power of silence. This phrase is also powerful because it ends useless conversations. Some people challenge you only to distract you. They want debates. They want emotional reactions. They want your attention. Do not donate your focus. A short reply protects your energy. You do not owe everyone an explanation. You do not need permission to improve. You do not need applause to begin. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is move quietly. The lion lesson. The lion does not gather opinions from sheep. He walks his path. Too many people stop moving because critics are loud. But critics often risk nothing. They comment from the sidelines. Meanwhile, disciplined people build in silence. Be careful whose voice you honor. Not everyone speaking deserves influence over your future. Let's remember the 5 phrases that make you sound wise, not angry. 1. You may be right. Because peace matters more than ego. 2. I understand your point. Because listening disarms conflict. 3. Let's focus on the solution. Because leaders move forward. 4. That doesn't deserve my anger. Because your emotions are valuable. 5. We'll see. Because results speak louder than arguments. These are not just phrases. They are habits of the mind. Use them often, and people will notice something different about you. You no longer react to every spark. You no longer chase every battle. You no longer explain yourself to doubters. You become steady. You become difficult to provoke. You become respected without demanding it. A wise man was once asked, "How do I make people respect me?" He answered, "Stop begging to be understood. Live so clearly that time introduces you properly." That is the meaning of this video. Let your discipline introduce you. Let your calmness introduce you. Let your results introduce you. If this message helped you, subscribe now to Unshaken Mind. Follow this channel for more wisdom on Stoicism, discipline, masculinity, confidence, and mental strength. Like this video so more people can find it. Share it with someone who needs to hear this today. And in the comments, write, "I let results speak. I read them all." The world is full of noise. Be the calm voice. Be the disciplined mind. Be the person time proves right. Until the next video. Stay strong. Stay wise. Stay unshaken.